Phyllis Harbinger, and I'm coming to you today to talk about meetings. How do you prepare for a meeting? What are some of the steps that you've put into place to make sure that you have protocols for you and your team so that getting ready and prepared for your meetings is seamless? So one of the things that I did when I wrote my book, The Interior Design Productivity Toolbox, is I created checklists that let us prep for our meetings beforehand. So we print out the checklist, members of a team will do that, and you'll know all the things that you need to bring with you. Have you prepared a notebook? Do you have a tape measure? We're also using this amazing tool called 3Dazer, 3, D-A-Z-E-R, and if you're interested in it, it's accurate to the 1/16 of an inch. You can DM me later and I will send you information on a promo code so that you too can use it. It's a major time saver and we absolutely love it. So when we're preparing, we're also looking at photos that the client has sent to us of the residence or the office that we'll be interviewing for the design project. We want to see what colors they like. We want to see the light that's coming in the photos that they send us, and something to get a feel for the style if they already have a style in their home or office that they want to continue with. So we're looking for all of that. We also want to make sure that, for me personally, since I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 years now, I've always had somebody that accompanies me to an initial consultation. Whenever possible, try to do that, because if someone can be there to take notes and record the consultation, if the client will agree to that, you will have a wealth of information to come back to your office with, because a lot of times we're very engaged in the conversation and we may forget something that was said because we're engaged and we're looking and we're creating, and our minds are already working and formulating plans and thinking about what could be here and what color we might use there and what fixtures might look great, because that's what we do. We can't help ourselves. We're already in ideation before we've even gotten the job. So I want you to really think about bringing someone with you that can be an accurate note taker, or to use a scribe. Your phones are amazing for that. You have a voice recorder on every iPhone that I know of, and I'm sure the Droids have something very similar. So when you're thinking about going to a client, make sure that you are dressed for success. Make sure that you're leaving ample time so that you are not late. I know it sounds crazy, but a lot of us are so busy that we rush and do things to the last minute. We're not accounting for traffic. I use Waze a lot because it lets me know if I input in the morning or a few hours before I'm supposed to leave. It tells me based on traffic patterns that I need to leave earlier than I anticipated I needed to leave. But I like to try to get to an appointment at least 20 minutes prior. Even if I'm sitting down the road, I'm checking my emails or returning phone calls, I know I'm there, and that makes me feel much better, because you want to set the tone right away that you mean business and that you operate from a very punctual place. Also, make sure that all of your electronic devices, your phones, your tablets, your 3Dazer, whatever else you're using, laser measurer, are charged before you leave for this meeting. The worst thing to happen is that your devices are dead and then you can't do what you need to do, and then you start going into panic mode. Always have a backup. You always need a tape measure, because what if your electronic tools don't work? And always have a notebook, because what if your electronic tools don't work and you can't scribe, or you can't take notes on your tablet or your phone. So just set that up as a protocol on your checklist. Also, your camera is great to have with you on your phone, unless you like to use an SLR. That's fine too. But to take some photos while you're on the consultation, I think is a very helpful thing to do, because the way a client might take a photo, or a prospective client, is very different than the way you might take a photo, because you're looking at things through your own lens, the designer's lens, which is a very different perspective than what a client might be showing you. So I really highly advise, before you leave a consultation, to take your own set of photos, even if you have photos from the client. Also, a scale. Sometimes they're going to have big architectural blueprints, And they don't know how to read this most of the time. I've had maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 clients in my almost 30 years of business that actually understood how to read the magical scale, which does all the math for you. It's the most amazing tool, as I tell my students. So we always have a scale. I have a mini scale that I carry in my purse, but for an initial consult, it's really good to have the bigger scale so that they can see what you're doing, and you can give them a little lesson about what you're doing when you're measuring, and they feel empowered and part of the process. Because sometimes they'll have a set of plans that you could take with you, but if you haven't really gotten the job yet and it's a big set of drawings, like a big working drawing set, then they're not going to give it to you because they may be interviewing other designers also, or they may only have that one set and the contractor or the architect's holding the other. So be prepared to perhaps take some photos of the plans, and you can scan them on a scanner app, which is another download that you must make. It's de rigueur required. App for your phone is a scanner app, and there are many out there that you can research. I use Scanner Pro and I love it. So that's my reco for the day. I also think that when you're with the client, really listen, repeat back some of the things that they're saying to you. Make sure that you tackle their wish list, but also make sure you say to them, what is it that you absolutely must have? Because we all have wish lists. But then there are the certain things that they cannot live without function-wise. And you want to make sure that you're very clear about those things, because budget always rolls into the picture. Whether a client tells you they don't know what their budget is or not, they do. And everybody has an idea of what they feel is a rational and reasonable amount to spend on a particular project. So I would have their wants, wishes, and also their needs, so that you can do an ascertainment of needs study of your own. When you're leaving, always make sure to leave a card with them. Ask them when it would be a good time to follow up, because you're going to go back and create a letter of agreement. And you'd like to be able to deliver that live, either virtually or physically, whichever method works best for this particular prospect. If you decide after walking through the space, meeting this prospect, that you don't have that warm and fuzzy inside, that you feel this could be a really good fit, because remember, we become part of these prospects' lives as they become our clients for a long period of time, and it is a very personal relationship. So you want to make sure that you feel the chemistry there. It's kind of like dating. They're interviewing you, but remember that you're also interviewing them. I think that's a critical point that designers don't think about. And when you're very young and you're just starting out, or you're a mid-careerist, you might not have the confidence to listen to that voice that comes through and tells you, hey, this is really not for me. And the other voice is saying, but you need the money. You should take the job. Just be mindful of that and think about whether or not you feel that this job will empower you, will be great for you and your career path, will be a great portfolio piece. Not everything is a great portfolio piece, but you want to think about that and really size it up. And when you get back, make sure that you take all of your notes, read them through, send a thank you letter to the client, the prospect I should say, and thank them for the opportunity to come in and see their project, and you're excited to move forward and create a letter of agreement for them in the next few days, and then you'll get back to them and leave it at that. I hope this was very helpful to you, and we'd love for you to check out our book. You can see a link in our bio. It's on Wiley and Amazon, and the checklists are downloadable from a wonderful portal in the web, so you can use them over and over again. Have a great day, and I hope your next initial consultation is amazing. Ciao.